Foreword of Lotus Buds. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Marianne Spiegel. Lotus Buds by Amy Wilson CARMICHAEL. Dedicated to those who care. Dohnavur, Tinnevelly District, South India, Christmas 1909. Each for himself, we live our lives apart, heirs of an age that turns us all to stone. Yet ever Nature, thrust from out the heart, comes back to claim her own. Still we have something left of that fair seed God gave for birthright. Still the sound of tears hurts us, and children in their helpless need still call to listening ears. Owen Seaman, from In a Good Cause. Foreword to the present edition. When first Things as They Are trod the untrodden way, it walked as a small child walks when for the first time it ventures forth upon young, uncertain feet. It has to walk, it does not know why. It only knows there is no choice about it. But there is an eager looking for an outstretched hand, and an instant gratefulness always, for even a finger. A whole hand given without reserve is something never forgotten. It was only a child after all, and it had not anticipated having to find its way alone among strangers. It had thought of nothing further than a very short walk among familiar faces. If it had understood beforehand how far it would have to walk, I doubt if it would have had the courage to start, for it was not naturally brave. But once on its way it could not turn back, and thanks to those kindly outstretched hands, it grew a little less afraid, and it went on. Then another small wayfarer followed. It also was very easily discouraged. An unfriendly push would have knocked it over at once. But nobody seemed to want to push so unpretentious a thing, so it gained courage and went on. And now a more grown-up looking traveller, though indeed its looks belie it, had started on its way, more diffident, if the truth must be told, than even its predecessors. For it thought within itself, perhaps there will be no welcoming hands held out this time. Hands may grow tired of such kind offices. But it has not been so. And now the sense of gratefulness cannot longer be repressed. All of which means that I want to thank sincerely those kings of the book world, reviewers, and those dwellers in that world who are my readers, for their insight and the sympathy to which I owe so much. I once read of a soldier who wrote a letter home from the midst of a battle, on a crumpled piece of paper laid upon a cannon-ball. His home people he knew would overlook the appearance of the paper, and the lack of various things expected in a letter written in a quiet room upon a study table. And he knew he could trust them not to bring too fine a criticism to bear upon the unstudied words hot from the battle's heart. I have thought sometimes that these books were not unlike that soldier's letter, and those who read them seemed to me very like his home people, for they have been so generous in the kindness of their welcome. Amy Wilson CARMICHAEL. Dohnavur, Tinnevelly District, South India, February 19, 1912. The Writer to the Reader. The photographs, except 2, were taken by Mr. Penn of Ootacamund, whose work is well known to all who care to possess good photographs of the South Indian hills. The babies were a new experience to him, and something of a trial, I fear, after the mountains, which can be trusted to sit still. The book has been written for lovers of children. Those who find such young life tiresome will find the story dull, and the kindest thing it can ask of them is not to read it at all. End of Foreword.